Hello everyone, I'm the Reverend Sarah Keane, curate in the Golden Cap team. Today I'd like to say a little bit about praying. Now, praying is something we all know we should do more of. People who follow the Muslim faith can claim they're 5 a day when it comes to praying, but I suppose with most of us, if we manage a bit in the morning and then a bit of an eczema of the day before we go to bed, that's probably about it. The time we're most likely to pray is when something difficult happens and we suddenly realise how much we need God's help. So in talking about prayer, also need to mention the other main thing on my mind at the moment, which is teeth. Not something you'd normally expect to set aside prayerfulness. But unfortunately, as a result of losing a couple of teeth a year or two back, I was told that I needed dental implants. Now, I don't take going to the dentist very easily. It's not something I'm very good at. And all my life, I have felt tremendous pain doing it and had a series of dentists scoff at me, along with other nearest and dearest. So knowing that I was going to have a couple of dental implants, I started a fair bit of fervent prayer. And not just because I was feeling the fear of physical pain, but also the eye-watering amount that dental implants cost. What was I to do? I definitely needed some help from above. But as I think we all know, when God answers our prayers, sometimes he does it directly, and sometimes he does it in just his own way. And it takes a little bit of thought to realise that actually we have had a prayer answered and possibly something's happened that we weren't expecting. In terms of the financial pain, I had a tremendously wonderful surprise as the project I'd been working on for 5 years came to an end. As a contractor, I had no expectation of anything but my final payment as the project finished. Then I discovered that during the time I've been doing this, HR law has changed. And now, if you're doing a project for over 2 years, you actually get redundancy pay at the end of it. Marvellous. Suddenly this lump sum appeared in my bank account just when I needed it. It hasn't stayed there very long. It's gone straight off to my dentist. But thank goodness it arrived. So a big thank you for that direct one, God. My other prayer was answered in a slightly different way. When I started the treatment last week, and I don't want to go into too much detail because I'm sure it would put you off your next meal, but the implants have to be basically screwed into your jaw. Normally, a set amount of anaesthetic is all that's required. Nasty needles, but nothing too special. But when they started the treatment, having given me the anaesthetic, I was still going into orbit with the pain. So they looked back, my dentist looked back to the CT scan he'd done of my jaw. One of the wonders of modern dentistry is that they can actually see in some quite bit of detail how your mouth is shaped up, and realised that I'm one of those rare people, 1 in about 50, that has a second set of nerves in each lower jaw. So, as a result, I need an extra special amount of anaesthetic. But once that was in there, the whole thing went smoothly. My dentist was a bit apologetic at the end, saying that it had gone on longer than he'd expected. And as we'd been discussing my curate activities before we started, he sort of said to me, "Are you sure the big man up there is on your side today?" I couldn't really make any response, considering I'd lost all feeling in my lower jaw and had a mouthful of instruments. But for one horrible moment, I wondered, was he right? But of course, no, he wasn't. Because when I really thought about it, I realised that God had given him the skills, not just to sort out this thing, but to tell me what it was that had been causing the problems all these years. And I had, as I mentioned before, a whole lifetime of difficult visits to the dentist, to the extent that one of my more jokey childhood dentists had nicknamed me Sarah Bernhardt because he said I was such a drama queen. But now I realise why. It's been an epiphany. It's because I have this second set of nerves. And the minute they're looked after by modern dentistry, I'm fine. The pain's not there. So, all round, a prayer answered in a way that I wasn't possibly expecting. But actually, I left the dentist feeling actually completely blessed at this point, that after all these years, someone had got to the bottom of the problem, and that in a way I wasn't expecting, my prayers had been answered.